Hang on. It's thinking. Come on. You can do this. Come on. What are you doing? I'm just waiting for it to show red. You'll see a little red thing pop up on your screen as soon as
Oh,
it
yep.
goes
See.
live. Yeah. All right. Hang on. Watch. Check this out.
But you know this shit's fire.
What'd you think of that cool little intro, Cameron?
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, listen, Cameron Swain, 2023 R3 Cup champion, right?
Yep.
ASBK, yes, absolutely, in the house. Welcome to Pin to Gas, Cameron. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, mate. Thank you very much for having me.
Listen, it's an absolute honor to have you on the podcast. I got to support all my Aussies, right? Jack Miller, Troy Bayless, Ollie Bayless. Yeah, I mean, dude, Anthony Gobert. You see my Go Show helmet right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. That was actually his first helmet before he did the Reaper on the back of it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Huge Ant West. I mean,
Awesome.
dude, I could sit here and go on and on about how fast you Aussies are and how much of a fan I am for sure.
So
Absolutely.
they're your favorite?
Yeah, man. I actually got a signed Anthony Gobert poster right here on my wall that I met him at Phoenix International Raceway when I went to Motorcycle Mechanics Institute.
Yeah.
It was actually the last year that AMA, it's Moto America now, but AMA actually raced at PIR, which is Phoenix International Raceway. It was a crazy track, super dangerous too. Yeah, that's why they said no more. So yeah. But listen, this is about you, Cameron. I want to know, dude, I want to start from the beginning, Cam. How did you get into motorcycles to begin with?
So I started when I was 4 years old, just because Dad, he used to race motocross when he was a kid. From about probably started riding them around 7 and finished up when he was around 15. I guess alcohol and girls got the better of him. But yeah, he did motocross racing in Sydney area. He used to ride with sort of in the same club as Matt Mladen at times. But they were Dad was in the sort of the age group above him, so he never raced him. He always said our Matt was a lot faster though.
Dude, Mladen is an absolute legend. Also, one of my favorites over here. The thing that I loved about Matt Cam is that it was no BS with him, right? He didn't care to make friends. He wasn't here for that. He was here for one reason only, and to win. And to me, that's an absolute legend and a champion.
Yeah. So he did a bit of riding with him, but so obviously he had a love. My dad had a love for bikes ever since he was young, and he watched MotoGP all of his life, and then he, kept riding dirt bikes just for fun and street bikes, and then he got me into riding dirt bikes when I was 4. On a little Yamaha P150, what most kids start out on. But I actually had a little crash in this little gravelly paddock area, probably on my second or third go. And I said I wouldn't ride for 3 years, and I didn't ride for 3 years. So, I'd constantly tell Dad how boring bikes were. I hated it and all this stuff. I wouldn't watch MotoGP. But then when I was 7, I lived across the road from a schoolmate, and he started getting into little mini bikes, and he come over and he kept seeing the Pee-wee just sitting in the garage. And he said to Dad, "What's it doing? Can I have a go on it?" Dad's like, "Yeah, sure. It's not doing anything else." So they took it out to the cul-de-sac, the street we lived on, and he just got on and started going up and down the street. And I was watching him, and to be honest, I started getting pretty jealous. And I said to Dad, "I want to have a go." And from what he tells me, he was so happy when I said that. So and then I had a go that day. Really, when I was 7, and twisted the throttle that first time and never looked back.
Nothing like it, is it? And listen, I'm a dad. My son, he's 11. His name is Hayden Rossi, after, well, the two legends, right? Nikki Hayden and Valentino. I had
Yeah.
the aspiration. My wife was pregnant. Dude, I'd be playing MotoGP races so he could hear them. I'd put the little headphones in and put them on my wife's belly and was like, dude, future champ. I used to go around and tell everybody, right? Absolute opposite of me. He's not really into motorcycles. He loves to go to the races live and intermingle
Yeah.
because he's got a couple buddies in Moto America. And I bought him a couple bikes and he rode them a couple times. I was like, I'm just not ready. So yeah, I understand when you said, Dad, I want to I'm waiting for my son to say the same words to me. So I get it. Yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know, I guess some kids, they just like find it completely boring, but everyone's got different interests, and yeah, but
Absolutely. He's more into Fortnite and the Oculus, the 3D Oculus.
Yeah.
Stuff. It's cool. It's fine. But yeah, I'd much rather be out there riding dirt bike with them. But
Yeah.
yeah. So your dad got you. Well, you jumped on it. Said, Dad, I want to have a go. First time you get on it, there's nothing greater feeling in the world than getting on that and twisting that throttle, right?
Yeah.
So after that, how did all this transition into racing?
Well, I never actually raced dirt track seriously. I really did dirt track for just riding around, like in trails and going to motocross tracks with Dad for about, I'd say, 2.5 years. And then we used to go to this place called Caboolture Friday Night Bikes. It's a little suburb near where we live, and they'd hold this thing every Friday night where you'd pay $10 just to go cut laps around this horse riding track. Yeah, and I was going there for like 2.5 years, and there was actually some somewhat fast kids there, and there was 4 groups, and the fourth one was the fastest. And um, I started out in Group 1 and was slow as, and said I'd never be as fast as the dudes in Group 4, and then but I just kept going there, and by the end, I was just cutting laps around, rings around everyone, and I got kicked out of the club because they said I was too dangerous and stuff like that. But that kind of sort of, I guess that's probably sparked my interest for competition, like just that little bit of I want to beat that kid and get in front of him. And then we got a call up at the end of 2017 to go out on midway through 2017 to go out onto an NSF 100 Honda at this little driver training circuit called Lakeside Raceway, and went out there, and I did that ride day on that bike, all in my dirt bike gear on the road. But I wasn't getting my knee down or anything. But at the end of the day, I said to Dad, it was the best day of my life, and so it sort of told him that I was interested in the road bikes, and then he got in talks with a couple of people, and they ended up buying me a Metro Kid 80 two-stroke as my first ever road bike. Pretty big bike, like for when I was 8 years old, turning 9. So I wasn't capable enough to ride it either. Like I just wasn't experienced enough. But yeah, that was my first bike, and yeah, I ended up doing a race at the end of 2017 at a track called Grafton North Coast Road Racing Club, just a little club event that people go to have fun at. But it was an awesome vibe out there, and but I went out and did that race. There was only about 7 kids in it, but by the end of the weekend, I made my way up to third and started catching the dude in second place who'd been doing the series for the whole year, and it sort of just showed Mum and Dad that I wasn't terrible, and how much, like, I mean, I was committed, to try and do well. And yeah, it sort of made them realize that it's what I wanted to do.
And that's when all this money started getting spent, right? Because it is not cheap. Yeah,
No.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So after your Metro Kid 80, where did you go from there?
From the Metro Kid 80, we went into 2018 into this series called Moto Stars, run by Damien Cudlin. So
Mhm.
he was an ex MotoGP, or he did a couple.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know exactly who he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of wild cards in GP and
Yeah.
a lot of endurance racing. Yeah, and he ran this championship called Moto Stars for just to give young kids a place to race. Really, like that's at our age. There wasn't much else. That was it. And it was around go kart tracks around up the east coast of Australia. Like we'd go down to Victoria for race meets, and it was on these KO 150 4-stroke, so a lot less power than the Metrokit 180, but a lot more tame, friendly bikes. But we learned to push them pretty hard, and it was a very good bike to learn on. And kids that I raced in there, like Marianos Nicholas and Carter Thompson, they're over in Europe now racing. So that series definitely worked to bring through riders. But yeah, that's what I did in 2018. 2019, I did Moto Stars again in the same series. And then 2020, it's when we applied for the Oceania Junior Cup. But that was very COVID affected year. We did 2 rounds, but the second round they sort of made it a double header. So they made it round 2 and 3 in one weekend. But yeah, my first season in that, I got 4th. Then did Oceania Junior Cup again in 2021, which got affected by COVID again, and we only got to do 3 rounds. And I ended up winning the championship that year, which got me, a ride into Asia Talent Cup for 2022 with MotoGP, and then did that in 2022. I struggled a lot, to be honest. At the start, I wasn't quick enough against the Asians. Like, they're just born and raised, like, just they're wild. Like, they'll do whatever they can to win. But they just got such small frames on them. And yeah, I mean, my best finish all year was a P11, which wasn't too bad. But
That's awesome.
yeah, then that led into last year where we did the ASBK R3 Cup and Supersport 300. And I won the R3 Cup and the Supersport 300, but the Supersport 300 is actually still undecided because of a yellow flag incident, but we should have a decision fairly soon on what's going to happen there.
Yeah. You got it. Absolute got it. Yeah, that's proper, man. So, dude, the whole Asian Cup, I know that was a tough series to jump into, right?
Yeah, I mean, because we went from Oceania Junior Cup 15 horsepower 150 bikes straight onto the R15 is a pizza delivery bike, just with a bit of suspension and race fairings on it. But then, so we won that, but then we got put onto this just made to race Grand Prix chassis Moto 3 or pre-Moto 3 bike.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't ready at the start for it. I didn't train enough for it. I just didn't know what I was in for. And then we did the first 2 rounds at Qatar and Indonesia, and I saw how far off I was. And then we had a 6-month break in between Indonesia and Japan, and I came back and I worked my ass off just constantly, and I got a lot faster. And we went back to Japan for round 3, and I ended up qualifying P9, which was a massive improvement. And then, unfortunately, had a bike mechanical there, and was fighting for the top 10 in that race. But yeah, I think if with the bike mechanical, I had to get onto a spare bike 5 minutes before the race, which didn't have the settings or anything like that in the bike, and I just had to go out there and ride it. But from there on, it was a struggle again, to be honest. Like, I was running 15th for the rest of the year. And just like with my size probably didn't help either, because being 60 kilos compared to the other kids who were winning, which were 50 kilos. And I remember the Spanish coach telling me the minimum heaviest he'd want you at would be 55 kilos to be competitive on the bike, just because they're so small and compact, and the power to weight ratio is so crucial to go fast on them. So the lighter you can be, the faster they go. And but yeah, just being that bigger Aussie size with, I don't know, a bit more muscle, I guess, didn't help at all. But sorry, stepping onto the bigger bikes, hopefully size won't be an issue. Well, it hasn't been, so yeah.
Listen, I could only imagine how tough it would be, right? To jump into a whole new series on a bike that's a lot more powerful, racing jockey horse racers, right?
Yeah,
Versus you're looking at them, you're going, like, I remember the first time I met Danny Perdosa, right? I've seen him, watched him on TV for all these years. I finally meet him at Indy. I went to the Indy GP every year.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, I don't see how he rides this MotoGP bike, because he's literally like 3'4", 50 pounds wet, maybe is how he looks, First time I met Stoner too, right? Can't forget about Casey Stoner, a proper legend. Yeah, it's in Troy Corser too, right? I want to get in that whole Troy Corser. How'd you get up with Troy Corser and in the training? Because, man, I've always been a huge fan of Troy. Absolute legend.
Yeah, Troy. So last year I was racing, that's the SBK, and I was racing against a guy called Brandon Emery. And Troy had teamed up with him for the year, and Brandon was one of my main competitors. He was leading the Supersport 300 championship for quite a while there, and he was in the fight in the last round. And there was me and 4 other dudes, I think, separated by 10 points, including him. And yeah, Troy was in there helping him. But just throughout the year, I guess my performances, like, I topped just a lot of practice sessions. They're not important at the end of the weekend, but I sort of showed my speed all the time and was always at the top of the qualifyings, doing the laps on my own. Didn't need the slipstream or the toes to do it. And yeah, obviously I won the most races out of anyone that year. Yeah, I guess it just caught his eye, and he's started helping me since then, and like he's helped me with training and nutrition, how to be prepared for the event, hydration, just all the little aspects to not necessarily riding. Just at the end of the day, like, you need everything to be put in place if you want to win at the highest level. So being physically and mentally prepared is super massive. So he's been helping me a lot with that. And also just his advice on riding as well. He's a 2-time world champion. He's given me a fair few tips that are for sure working and helping me. And yeah, I can't thank him enough. Sometimes you forget who he is. Like, I was at World Superbikes the other day, walking through the paddock with him at the end of the day, and everyone's stopping him for photos and stuff, and it just makes you so feel privileged to be able to hang out with him, and like as a mate, it's awesome.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Since I've been doing the podcast, I've gotten many road race friends, and it's an absolute honor, right? So when I go to the races, I see them, it's all hugs. What's going on, man? And all that. And then, I've been such a fan, you forget about all that, because at the end of the day, they're your mates now, so you see things different, right? But yeah, absolute, man. I remember growing up watching Troy Corser. Yeah, it's absolutely. I remember him and Gobert. We lost him. Hang on a second, guys. What's up, Mike Cook? How you doing, my man? Glad you're watching the podcast. Mike's a good friend of mine. Oh, there he is. Sorry.
You cut out the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I lost you there for a second. But yeah, I remember growing up watching Corser, and him and Gobert were actually really good friends. And I remember when he won the championship, and Anthony was like, congratulations, Troy. I wanted to win it, but if anybody else is going to win it, absolutely wanted you to win it, right? I'll never forget that. It was absolutely, proper. That it just. Yeah, Troy. I can't believe it, dude. How awesome is that, man? I'm sure. So as far as him training you, as far as the nutrition and your workout routine, how much different was that than what you were previously doing?
Compared to what I was previously doing, probably I was sort of doing a similar sort of routine before he gave me his one, but to be honest, his one is just a lot more intense and longer. So it sort of made me think. I just realized, like, if you can do that, like, you'll be able to go 30 minutes at least on the bike, just non-stop with no issue. Like the circuit training we do is pretty intense, and it gets your whole body just burning. But by the end of it, once you get on the bike, you feel so much better. But yeah, he's like, the hydration's a massive one. Like, being hydrated before you even get to the round, like days prior, you got to just make sure you're constantly saturated. And then, because as soon as you start getting dehydrated, it's sort of hard to get back properly hydrated. But yeah, once you're at the track, just making sure you're constantly flushed through, because yeah, it makes you concentrate better. You got better energy. You're cooler, core body temperature as well, staying cool. But yeah, his physical training was just a lot more intense compared to my one when he showed me it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so did the nutrition side of things change a whole lot for you, or is it kind of basically the same?
The nutrition side, like last year I was doing this diet where very low carbohydrates, high protein, but I found it made my energy really low. And I was just feeling really hungry all the time, because at the end of the day, carbohydrates is what fills you,
Yeah.
and gives you the energy. He kind of just told me, you can't just cut out carbohydrates fully. There's nothing special to what we eat. It's just good food. Like, for dinner it'll be steak with salad, potatoes, or chicken with salad, potatoes. Just good clean food, high protein, bit of carbs, and then you got your veggies. During the day, it can be just like a good sandwich, as long as, like, maybe whole grain bread with just meat and salad in it. There's nothing too special to the diet, as long as you just got good sources of protein. Not a lot, like overload on carbs, but a good amount to just keep you energized during the day, but not put on fat. So you got to constantly, obviously, be training, which sort of, so the carbohydrates will fuel you for the workouts, and then yeah, you can be ready to go on the workout, and you got everything you need, really.
To prepare for battle. Absolutely, you do. Listen, I'm a big advocate on good home cooked meals, no processed foods. Like me personally, I completely changed my diet up. And when I did, I started listening to my body, what it likes, what it don't like. Even far as, even fruits and certain vegetables, I eat something and my nose gets stopped up, right? Well, then I know something in that my body has a reaction to, so I cut it out, right? No matter how much I like it. Yeah, if you listen to your body, it'll tell you exactly what it likes and exactly what it don't like. Yeah, it's absolutely, and it's good for your mind state too, right? Because this game, the sport you're in that we all love, it's very mental. It's a very mental game, and I'm sure Troy's probably told you it's 80% mental, right? The other percent physical. It's good to have all that. And I drink water only. I don't drink soda. I don't drink sweet tea, peach tea, nothing. It's water or a Guinness, right? Because I do like my Guinness. So yeah, who don't, right? Who's not a Guinness lover in here? But yeah, it is absolutely very important to have a great diet, a good workout. I lost a lot of weight by doing that. I was almost in a 40 waist. I'm down to a 34 now. By changing my diet up, cutting out all that processed bullshit, doing push-ups, because I'm a big fan of push-ups, and ice baths. I love an ice bath. Yeah, are you into ice baths? Yeah.
I know. I should do them. I haven't actually done one.
Oh, it's
I
absolutely
take
amazing.
A lot of cold showers, but yeah.
listen, I started off with the whole cold shower. It's okay. Like it's as cold as you can get. You jump in there and you know how you right.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
once you start breathing and
yeah,
you get your breath down, you're fine. But if you move a millimeter, it starts
yeah,
all over again. Right. That's what I don't like about the shower. Right. Because you're constantly like putting your body in shock all over again. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Versus filling up the bathtub. All right, or and jumping in it, right, and just soaking in it for like 2 minutes, and then once you catch your breath, it's like you're not cold anymore. It's really uh it's awesome. It's hard to explain the euphoria feeling you get from it, right? You get out, Cameron, and you'll notice like a couple hours after, you're like, man, I feel so good right now, right? And then
yeah,
your body will start craving it. And you're like, dude, I need an ice bath. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to jump in an ice bath. I actually got a creek about 2 blocks down the street. My buddy lives right there next to the creek, and I'll go down there and jump in
yeah.
it because it's absolutely cold, right? And yeah, I love it. Big advocate of ice baths. What's going on, right? This is my son Rossi. He just got home from school. Um,
Right.
so yeah, we got my man Chris Lewis all the way from the UK. He says, "What is going on, guys?" And then my man Simon Bordini, man, I always mess up his last name. I'm sorry, Simon. He's actually out there in Australia. Great guy, absolutely
Yeah,
amazing. Yep. And then he says Aussie, 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 Aussie. Right. Hey, yeah. Look. Oh, there it is. Yay. Yep. And then my man Steve Vasblom. What is going on, buddy? He's actually in oh man, New Zealand. Yep. He's from
yeah,
yeah, so it's good stuff, man. Good stuff. So listen, I asked this question to everybody. Jake Marsh, my man, he's in BSB GP2 class. Jake Marsh is an absolute legend, mate. Yeah, he
yeah.
races in BSB. Um, do you have any like rituals you do, Cameron, to prepare yourself for a race? Because some guys I have on here, there's been several that actually they put everything on the left, right, left side only first.
Yeah.
And then one of my buddies, racers in Moto America, he wears his socks inside out, and I was like, why? Because you know how when you put on the socks, it has a little strip in front of it, and your toes get on it, and you're moving them
Yeah.
sometimes. Well, if you wear them inside out, you don't have that problem. So now I'm an advocate inside out sock wear, right? Absolutely. But what do you do to prepare for a race? One, with your gear and mental preparation, like music wise or anything like that?
Um, it's actually a bit strange. I've always been quite big on superstitions. They used to be stuff like, yeah, I'd wear the correct undies and the correct socks. Uh, during the sort of rituals would be like my routine. Stretch, get my gear on 10 minutes before. Have everything on 5 minutes before, earplugs in, 2 minutes before, helmet on and gloves. And if it was a bit out of whack, you sort of you don't get flustered, but maybe a little bit uncomfortable. I never, to be honest, I never had a big thing on putting the left on boot on or left glove on first or right glove on first, anything like that. But I sort of used to do a lot of how do you explain it? Hoping before the event, uh, like it's hard to explain. I'm not a big God person, but like I'd do you sort of mini pray before the race in your helmet, and ask for help. I don't know, and I used to do that all year, but before that last round, I just sort of snapped out of it and I said to myself, what are you doing? You gotta just do it yourself. It's if putting um the wrong pair of socks on or wrong pair of undies on is what's going to stop you from winning a race, then you're insane.
Right.
Yeah. So I got to be honest. I don't have any superstitions now or rituals. All it is my training. I put in all my hard work into my training. I don't listen to music usually during the training because it's not like you don't have music on the bike, you know. You just got
Yeah.
all you got is groaning and suffering, you know. And I try to replicate that a lot. So unless you're doing a cycle, you know, when it's just an hour of pedaling and there's nothing else, you know, yeah, I'll listen to music then. But before the race, no, I don't listen to music or anything like that. All it is just getting into my head and just telling yourself you will do it and you will top the session and you will be the fastest and you will win, no matter what. All that goes through my mind is just what I need to do to win. There's never now I don't have any like I said, I don't have any rituals or I don't do any of that sort of little praying stuff anymore or anything like that. All it is, it just comes down to you and your own mind and overcoming everything yourself. Because yeah, like I said, if putting the wrong sock on is what's going to stop you from winning, I just told myself that's just stupid, you know.
Yeah, it's nonsense, man. Yeah, right. Yeah, listen, spoken like a true champ, right? You get in your own, you sit down, calm before the storm. Yeah, that's so. Before I podcast, every podcast I do almost exactly the same thing. I go in there, I look at myself in the mirror, I have a prep talk, right? Like, because I get anxiety and all that stuff and nervous just because I'm so excited, right? And I got all these thoughts running through my head. So I go in there and I talk to myself. So it's my way of calming myself down. I do my little breathing exercises and yeah, absolutely. We're going to go in there and murder this podcast and have a really good time. Right. Absolutely. And it's very important. It is. The mind game, the mental game is absolutely everything. And Steve says in my day, I was my own crew. So I was double duty and, key is having good habits.
Yeah.
So yeah. He also says double check your fuel level. If your girl at the race, she gets a kiss before the helmet goes on. Absolutely. Yeah.
For
yeah.
sure.
For sure.
But,
That go ahead.
Yeah. Another thing is like the training sort of, you know how they say it's 90% 90% mental, 10% riding, you know. If you're at 100% fitness, you know that fitness isn't an issue and that you know you have the speed. For example, like going into that last round last year at the Bend for the final round of ASBK where there was 5 people, 10 points separated to win the championship, I knew I was 100% fit and that wouldn't be an issue and I knew I had the speed. To be honest, it was almost just 100% mental. Like, just making sure you were not going to fumble and that you were going to be strong, you know, take whatever anyone throw at you. And just, yeah, it's the first time I've ever found that it was just all mental. Like, just making sure that you were the one getting in their head, beating them, you know, and just trying to be superior. But yeah, I found that was quite fun last year when that we came down to that last race in that situation. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you find it hard to have friends in the paddock that you actually race with?
Yeah. I'll be honest, I probably don't have too many friends. Well, when I say friends, probably, you know, ones that you talk
Hang
to a
out
lot.
with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
hang out with a lot off the track and talk with a lot, you know. It just I've got friends outside of the class. Like I got a good mate, Teo Axu, who's over in Spain at the moment, and yeah, I raced him before, but I've known him since I was 8, you know. So it's a bit different. But and also I'm pretty good friends with Marianos Nicholas, who's in European Talent Cup this year, who I've raced against. But yeah, again, I've known him since I was 9, and we get along well, but like there's definitely for sure people in my class who I'm friendly with and I don't have any problems with. But
Yeah.
when it comes to good friends, when it comes to riders, there's not a lot. But that's just the way it is. Like I said, there's a couple, but at the end of the day, every single person there wants to beat you, and I want to beat everyone there as well. So, like, it's pretty hard to be mates with the people you're racing, or good friends. Like most of my friends are just, you know, people who work in the paddock. They're not riders. But
Yeah.
yeah, or sponsors, stuff like that.
So who's your favorite Australian racer?
My favorite Aussie racer. Oh,
I know the list is long. I know. It's hard just to choose one, man. It really is.
Obviously, well, at the moment, like just because of the situation I'm in, like
Corsa.
Troy Corsa, his vibe and personality is just like for a 2-time world champion, he's so down to earth and humble. You can talk to him about almost anything, and you can have a laugh with him. But there's some professional riders who you can just, it's like talking to a wall,
I do. Absolutely, I do. Yes.
Yeah, but Troy, his personality, and also Troy Bayliss, his personality as well. Like
Bayless.
I've hung out with him as well before.
Baylistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But both of them, they're just great, down to earth people. I've actually never met Casey Stoner or Mick Dawn. But obviously those two are the best Aussie riders that there's ever been because, just their outright speed and their world titles, obviously, in MotoGP.
Yeah.
But yes, I don't have and also Jack Miller. He's down to earth a lot as well.
Miller, yeah, baby, yeah. Sorry, man. That was actually an unfair question on me because I get asked that question, like, who's my favorite rider in Moto America? Friends with all those guys, right? So my answer is everyone.
Yeah.
I'm friends with everyone. They're all my favorites. Man, it's such a tricky question, man. Do you have a favorite rider in general in the world? Rossi or Marquez or?
I definitely think that like people will probably disagree or they'll have arguments, but I think Marquez is the greatest rider ever. Like his speed and natural talent. I mean, even if people, I don't know, think he had done some aggressive and dirty things, or they don't like him off the track, I don't know. But I think no one's ever been faster than him, like, and his natural talent. But I actually run my race number is 26 because of Pedrosa. When I was 7, I first watched the Hitting the Apex movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I've seen that like countless amount of times, and in that, it's about Pedrosa, Marquez, Simoncelli, Stoner, Lorenzo, and Rossi. And when I was young, I just gained a love for.
I got a big Marco Simoncelli on my tattoo.
Yeah, awesome. But I gained a lot of interest in Pedrosa, and I saw how many times he was going to win the world title, and there was a big part of that movie that was about it, and all the injuries he'd gone through, and how unlucky he was, and also about his size. Like, I remember, I think it was like 2005, he won, 2004, he won 250s in his first year. And they wouldn't let him move up to MotoGP in 2005, so he had to do 250s again, and he won the title again. So then they couldn't really hold him back. But yeah, like I've never met him, but I know how tall he is, and I'd tower over him. And like you said earlier, to think he'd ride a GP bike as fast as he did is pretty mind blowing.
Yeah.
And yeah, but like just but all the way through until about 2018 when he left, I'd always still go for Pedrosa. Yeah.
The samurai, right? Yeah, considering that when you was 8 years old, you was actually as tall as he was, right? At the time. Listen, dude, I love Danny. I'm a huge fan of Danny's too. It's man, it was just amazing how tiny he was. I was like, you got to be kidding me! Like, I never envisioned how small he was. I go to MotoGP every year, and I get the VIP paddock pass, so I meet all them guys, and I'm surprised how tall some of them are, and surprised how short some of them are, right? And how skinny. I'm like, man, this kid right here's got to run around the shower just to get wet. That's how skinny he is, right? I mean, it's yeah, to muscle them bikes around the way they do is just absolutely legends.
Yeah.
Listen, all you guys are legends. Cameron, you're a legend. Anybody that throws a leg over a race bike seriously and gets out there and gives it them all day in and day out is absolute proper legends in my book, personally. So
thank you.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, so 2024, let's talk about 2024 real quick. You said you're going to do a couple rounds on the 600?
Yeah. So beginning on the 600 in ASBK, 600 class, and I'll do 3 rounds of that during the year just for gaining experience on the bike. It's not the main championship that I'm focusing on this year, but I'll obviously go my best, and like I'm going out today to do some testing on the 600 and do just a Queensland championship title this weekend at the same track. Just also it's good training. You know, the bike's a lot faster than the 300, and if you can go fast on one of those, it'll probably help you go fast on a 300 easier. But yeah, so that's going to be fun to be transitioning onto that bike this year and doing some riding that. But yeah, like I said, the main focus is the World R3 Cup, which will be held in Catalunya, so Barcelona, then Assen, then Misano, Donington, then Magny-Cours, which is in France, and then Aragon at the end of the year. And it finishes up in September. And it's all going to be run with World Superbikes. So that'll be a good opportunity for me just to do racing in Europe and try and gain some contacts and try and impress a bit over there with that opportunity. And like I did a wild card last year at Magny-Cours in the same championship, but it was their final round last year, Magny-Cours, and I managed to get a P8 and a P10, and I was running with the front group for my first time there. And you got 30 minutes to learn the track, you know. Yeah. You got 30 minutes, and actually in that session, my bike blew up. So I only got 5 laps of practice, and then you're thrown straight into qualifying. So our schedule is so just fast. You've got to try and just learn the track before you even get there completely, you know.
Yeah.
And then obviously walk it and see some more things. But yeah, I did that wild card last year, and then I did another race with the same crowd at Portimao called the World R3 Cup Super Finale. So they picked the best R3 Cup riders from around the world. It went across Spain, Italy, Thailand, Australia, Germany, Netherlands, France. Yeah. And we all went head to head there. And last year I got 3rd position. In the World Super Finale, which got my foot in the door really to do it fully this year. And I made a good relationship with the Yamaha Europe crew last year, and so that's what I'm going to be doing for a full season this year, and hopefully some good things come from it.
Absolutely. Well, I need to put you in touch with my mate Luke Power. He races in World Supersport. You know Luke?
Yeah.
He's a good mate of mine.
Yeah. I was talking to Luke. We were at Phillip Island the other day. We talk a bit, and like he's in the same paddock over there, obviously,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was talking to him a fair bit last year, just how he was going, and um, yeah, I'm friends with Luke, and I'm sure I'll obviously see him again, and yeah, I wish him all the best in the World 600 class.
Absolutely, man. So listen, dude, I know you got to go. We got about 15 minutes. I'm actually gonna let you go a little bit early than an hour so you can prepare yourself for your session coming up on the 600. But listen, I just want to ask you a couple quick personal questions away from road racing and all that. And listen, I would love to sit down and do this again with you in the future. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So what I'll send you my WhatsApp number and all that. It's just easier to communicate back and forth. But anyway, I'm a big book listener. Audio book. Do you read books or listen to audio books at all?
Yeah, I'm reading a book at the moment. About David Goggins. I don't know if you know him.
Dude, dude, both his books are absolutely amazing. I listen to them on audio form, and they are, yep. I love his saying, and it always stuck with me. I want to be uncommon amongst uncommon men, right? I'm like, dude, that is absolutely yes. Absolutely, man. So yeah, good books, man. I just got done listening to Matthew McConaughey, Greenlight. It was a motorcycle autobiographies. I've read pretty much all of them out there. The best one so far has been John Hopkins. So if you have not read it yet, absolute proper read. You should absolutely read it. So what kind of music are you into?
I'm into Dad. He got me listening sort of to his day and age music growing up a lot, like a lot of the 80s music, like In Excess, U2, AC/DC. Also a bit of Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I actually like kids my age probably don't like a lot of that stuff, but I don't like. I've listened to a lot of it growing up, and just because being around him so much and doing all road trips with him, like, so yeah, I like all that sort of music. Like a bit of rap is pretty good as well, and but just good music, not music with like constant swearing in it.
Yeah.
No, there's no meaning, just, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm with you. I listen to a little bit of everything. Frank Sinatra to Red Hot Chili. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see Red Hot Chili Peppers in June here in Virginia Beach. I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Yes. So Star Wars. Are you into Star Wars? You like Star Wars?
Yeah, I watched all the Star Wars. Yeah.
Me too. So what Star Wars character would Cameron be?
Who would I be? I was always a fan of Obi-Wan Kenobi, but also Yoda's pretty cool. Who would I pick? Probably, or there's Luke Skywalker. Probably, I'm not sure.
Kind of a hard question, yeah.
Maybe either Yoda or maybe Luke Skywalker. Yeah.
All right, absolutely. So, do you have a celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. There's a couple Instagram models.
Right?
Yeah. Karina Kopp. Shit, you can't go wrong.
No, absolutely not. Yes, I'm with you. So, PlayStation or Xbox? Oh, I don't know what happened. We lost them again. Hang on, guys. We'll bring him back in real quick. I don't know why there he is. All right. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Say something. I can't hear you. Say something. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Hang on. Yeah, I can't hear you, Cameron. Say something again. Is your volume turned up? All right, hang on. We're having a little bit of issues real quick. Can you hear me now? No. Try to back out and come back in. Hang on. Back out. You back out and then come back in. Yeah. All right. Let's bring him back in here in a second. All right. Now I can hear you. Yes, now I can hear you. There it is. All right. All right. So I said no, yeah, you're good. PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation, yep.
Absolutely. Me too. I play PS5, Ride 5, and that's a good way to learn these tracks you're going to, right? Get on there and play. Yeah. I play with a lot of road racers around the world. BSB, Moto America. So we'll have to jump on there and I'll battle it out sometime for sure. It'd be a lot of fun.
I've done a fair few hours on the all the MotoGP games and all that. So, yeah.
Well then, yeah, we'll have proper mega time on the PlayStation. And so, are you into the Isle of Man TT at all?
Oh, it's an awesome thing to watch. But to be honest, I haven't ever been there, or I don't. It's not my biggest interest, but for sure, I have a lot of respect for those guys. Like, it's something I'll probably never want to do that sort of stuff. Like, it just, what they do is wild. Like, you know,
they're absolute legends. It's actually my favorite race of the year, the TT. That whole 2 weeks is just, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen on two wheels. Absolutely. Yeah. I just got back from Cadwell Park in August of last year to the BSB race in Cameron. Bro, seeing them jump that mountain is absolutely, dude, one of the most beautiful things again I've ever seen in real life. I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. But yeah, listen, we're like 52 minutes into this. I'm gonna let you go here in a minute so you can go chop laps on that 600. But before we get off here, Cameron, I need you to tell everybody how they can follow you on social media, join your fan club, that whole nine.
Sure, I'll for sure give you a shout out as well. Do you have an Instagram and all that stuff?
Absolutely, I do.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. Thank you, man. Listen, it's an absolute honor to have you on. I will message you my WhatsApp number, and yeah, we'll take it from there. And we'll schedule a part 2 to this because I got so much more that we have yet got to talk about. Hour flies by really fast, but listen, everybody, Cameron Swain in the house, all the way down from Australia, mate. Thank you so much, and yeah, looking forward to hearing from you soon.
Nah, thank you very much for having me, and I'm super keen to get back on and have a lot longer chat. So
yeah, absolutely, yeah, we will. But yeah, listen, thank you so much, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon, Cam.
Thanks, mate.
Yep, see ya. Thank you. Yep, see ya. Bye. All right, everybody, listen, dude, Cameron Swain, how awesome was that? What a proper guy. He's an absolute legend. Keep an eye out for him in 2024 out there in the ASBK R3 Cup. Absolute legend. Before I get off here, obviously I got to go through my little routine real quick. He had to go. So listen, everybody, thank everybody who watches and this podcast. It really means a lot. I know I say it all the time, but again, I mean it. I really, really mean it. This is for all you guys, all the love and support. Thank you guys so much. Chris Lewis, Mike Cook, man, Simone. I mean, the list goes on and on. My man, big shout out to my man Jake for R&D Racing. Jake Marsh out there in BSB in the GP2 class. I need you guys to go out there and sign up for Club 45. I'm a club member. So yeah, let's go. Keep an eye out for him. He's an absolute legend. Thank you guys so much. It's an absolute honor. Big shout out to my man Martin from the Clothing Kings. You can go to theclothingkings.co.uk and order all your Pin the Gas merchandise. Absolutely. We got hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, all that good stuff. So yeah, everybody, it's I actually need to sit down and write a big old list out, thanking everybody individually. I really need to do that because I think it's important. But off the top of my head, everybody big shout out to Cameron Frazier, Cameron Frazier, GP2 champion in 2023 in BSB, proper mega guy. You guys go support him too. My man Finn Whedon, 2023 junior champion over there in BSB. Big shout out to him. Chloe Jones, Lizzie Whitmore, Mallory Dobbs, Kevin Horney, Levi Batty, Rossi Moore. Oh, man, dude, the list goes on and on. Isaac Woodworth, Avery the Lap Slayer Dreyer, my man. Jillian Carrera out there in the British Talent Cup. You guys go. He has a club 40. You guys need to go sign up for his club and support him too. Man, Ella Dreyer. The list is long. It really is. Thank you guys so much. It's an absolute honor. And I had my good mate on there, Dave Neal, the real deal Dave Neal, yesterday. You guys see the off track. Man, this camera thing messes me up. Off Track. He has a podcast called Off Track out there in the UK. It's all BSB. Listen to it. It's proper. He's a proper legend. His podcast is absolute amazing. Absolutely one of the only motorcycle podcasts I listen to. There's a couple. Another one is Moto PG. They're from Australia. Absolute legend of a podcast. You guys can go check that one out too as well. But yeah, listen, guys, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. You guys stay tuned. I got Tom Neve coming up, BSB Superbike racer. So yeah, it's going to be proper legend. I got a lineup coming. So thank you guys again. I appreciate everybody. If you guys ever want to get in contact with me, just hit me up, message me on Facebook. I'll shoot you a message, give you a phone call. We can have a proper road racing chat for sure. First race, World Superbikes done and dusted and gone. MotoGP's getting ready to start. We got Daytona 200 coming up here shortly, which is going to be absolutely amazing. Peter Hickman's going to be here. That field's just stacked. Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be, dude, Bentley, what is up, mate? But yeah, so guys, thank you so much. This has actually been under an hour for a podcast, man. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a really good one. Again, Cameron Swain, thank you so much for being on Pin to Gas. Absolute honor. And yeah, absolute honor sitting here to do this for everybody. And thank you guys so much. It really means a lot to me. So if you guys get a chance and you haven't yet, I know I don't say it, I need to start saying it. Go like and subscribe, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all those good places, TikTok, Spotify, iHeart, Boomplay, Samsung, yada, 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 everywhere, just everywhere, right? Thank you guys so much. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful day.